passé. Super, l'artiste. Super, encore un but sensationnel. That's a brilliant bit of follow-up play by Mahe. Oh my goodness me, what a shot.
Sagosen setter det hen! Han setter den! Vi i semifinale igjen!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Uninformed Handball Hour. We are just about getting to the end of the preliminary round of the World Championship, the Women's World Championship 2025 in Germany and Netherlands. And to celebrate that, we've got a couple of great interviews coming your way today. We will hear from Pernille Brandenborg, the team captain of the Faroe Islands, who made history on Friday by beating Spain, their first World Championship win. They've booked a spot in the main round. They'll take on Germany tonight in packed Westfalenhalle in Dortmund. And Pernille Brandenborg, the team captain and line player for Faroe Islands, I had a chance to speak to her earlier about the experience so far and the transformation that she's experienced being with the team from 2016 until now. And then later on in the podcast, we'll hear from Alexa Pavicevic, the founder and runner of Women's Handball Instagram account, one of the best resources out there for women's handball. Alexa and I had a chance to break down the tournament so far. Both of these interviews you can actually hear in full only on Patreon, patreon.com/handball hour. You're getting a slightly edited version for this podcast, and the chat with Pernille has been out since Monday, and the chat with Alexa out since early this morning. So if you want full unedited access even earlier for these chats, plus a few more bonus episodes, which will be only for the Patreon subscribers, then join us on patreon.com/handball hour. Always a great time to do that. But that's enough of an intro for now. We'll hear from Pernille and then straight into the chat with Alexa after that. Enjoy. Pernille Brandenborg, you've just arrived in Dortmund for the main round of this World Championship after quite a hectic 5 days, I reckon, for you and the team. How would you sum up this World Championship, your first World Championship so far?
Well, kind of like a dream come true. We were really excited to have our debut in the World Championship, and we were dreaming about getting some points and making some results, but we also knew that it was our first time trying to be at the World Championship. So yeah, we were really excited and not sure how it would go, but these last 5 days has been everything we dreamed of.
Yeah, and I saw a quote from you saying that you didn't want to speak about the main round until you beat Paraguay and got in there. But now that you've done it yesterday, what was going through your mind after getting that victory? Because also it wasn't a straightforward game against Paraguay as well. They gave you a good fight. Was it a bit of relief to go with the joy of the last few days?
Yeah, it was a relief. We knew that we needed to get a victory to go to the main round, and it was not easy. We have not played a team like Paraguay before, and it was a really different team than the two games before. So yeah, we didn't take easy on the the challenge we had ahead of us. But I think, even though the score was quite close, we had a feeling of control. We knew our game plan and could see that we just needed to correct some things. And then we got more of the girls went into game yesterday compared to the other two games, and they did really well. So that was really nice. And in the end, it was a good victory for us.
Yeah, I guess for you as well, as one of the team leader, as the captain and one of the most experienced players, it's also nice to see the full squad get a chance to show what they're made of, because totally understandably in the first two games there was a focus on the core group, but getting everyone on the court and everyone scoring goals and contributing must make you also feel quite proud that everyone's doing it at a World Championship.
Yeah, it was amazing. I got goosebumps now
Yeah.
you said it. I'm really proud of my teammates. They are a lot of the girls don't have any professional contracts, and maybe they don't even play in the best league. So it's really, yeah, big to see them perform in a world championship, and they are doing so well. And also for us who have played a bit more, it's really nice to see that they dare to go in and take the chance when they get it, and they have done really well. So it's also like good for our team that we know different people can step up to the role when it's not working as planned always.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to take you back a little bit to the Spain game on Friday night, and I think looking at it from the outside, on paper there was definitely always going to be a chance there to get the result. Seeing how things are developing for Spain and how you've grown over the last couple of years, and it was a really intense and interesting first half. But going into the dressing room, 3 goals down, maybe felt a little bit harsh for you. I don't know if that's how you felt that at the time, and what kind of things did you speak about in the dressing room to try and fix it and turn it around?
Yeah, I think yeah, it was a bit harsh, but mostly because we hadn't performed the way we would like to perform and like
Yeah.
what we had prepared. But that also, I think, gave us some sort of like courage for the second half, and also some sort of belief in the fact that we could go and actually turn it around a bit and get in front, because we had a tactic well prepared for the game, and it didn't go exactly as we wanted in the first half. And also we burned a lot of free
Mm.
shots on the goalkeeper, and we knew that like if we could concentrate a bit more on in the way we yeah, when we tried to score, then maybe we could turn the game around. So I think like knowing that we didn't play up to our best in the first half made us think that we could do better. And we knew if we could do better, we were only behind by 3, not feeling that we played our best, then maybe we could get the victory. So actually, I think we were quite calm in the halftime, and yeah,
That's
it turned out perfect.
Yeah, it really showed, and it was incredible to see kind of happen live as well, how it all unfolded. And you had that the lovely moment, which is almost becoming a tradition at major championships now, celebrating with the crowd. And we've the whole handball world has really fallen in love with Faroe Islands and handball in the Faroe Islands. And the men have had their moments also last year in Berlin. But to see that and to be standing in front of, I guess, a lot of friends and family and people you've gotten to know over the years, and have your own moment like that. How was I mean, could you even sum up the emotions or how you were feeling when you had those few minutes with the crowd afterwards?
It's hard,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like when Jana scored the last goal, and you could see like they had placed our audience behind the goal where she scored, and they went crazy. I saw it from like the middle of the court, and I felt kind of like out of body
Yeah.
almost.
Wow.
It was goosebumps everywhere, and like the biggest adrenaline rush I have ever experienced. But yeah, our fans, they are like the extra power for us. It almost felt like playing in home court when we played these games in Trier, also because they are really good at getting the rest of the audience to
Yeah.
follow them. So yeah, we owe them almost everything, because they were the energy when it was tough, because it was a tough match, physical for us. Yeah, and yeah, I spent the European Championships crying over the fans all the time. So this time I've tried not to cry and just smile and enjoy instead. But it's really touching. And as you say, you see your parents, and then your aunt, and then the other girl's parents, and then a sister, and everybody. And if they're not family, they have followed us for a long time. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's really incredible.
And you've been with this team for quite a long time as well. You made your debut in 2016. Can you tell us a little bit about where the team was when you were making your debut? Like what, in comparison to now and playing in world championships with thousands of people following you. I guess it was a different station when you started playing with Faroe Islands.
It was really different. Like for myself, I played in the second division in Denmark, so it was a totally different level. And the national team was the same. It was a totally different level. We were gathering some, it was like gathering a team who wants to try and play for the national team, almost like that. And we were a few of us who had the level to try to be a part of the national team. And also when we played national games, almost compared now we're talking about the audience we have now,
Yeah.
almost no one knew that there was a national game, because it was really new that they wanted to try to go forward with the national team. But yeah, so there has been a lot of different players in and out, and a lot of different coaches, but now it's a more like stable environment, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big transformation.
You mentioned there when you were starting playing, people didn't really know about there being a national team and the difference between now and then. I mean, I guess your main connection nowadays with Faroe Islands, seeing as you've grown up and been playing in Denmark all these years now, Norway, is going back for the national team and for training camps and for matches. How has that changed for you now? I guess a lot more people are recognizing you, and you must feel the hype whenever you arrive in Torshavn every time.
Yeah, it's really funny. Now there's like small boys and girls wearing our national shirt everywhere. And yeah, people are saying, well, hello, Pernille, when I go grocery shopping and stuff like that. So that's really funny. But the Faroe Islands is really close. You know, we're not a lot of people. And the first question I got when I came to the national team was like, who's your family? Like they need to know where I belong.
Yeah, because it's
Uh,
your mother. Your mother is originally from Faroe Islands, right?
Yes, my
Yeah,
mother's from Faroe Islands, but moved to Denmark to live with my dad, and so I'm born and raised in Denmark.
yeah,
But her whole family is in the Faroe Islands, and when we train in the Faroe Islands, I live with my mom's sister,
yeah.
actually.
You're on top.
So she's like, there's my foster child when I go to the house, because I've been there a lot the last 9 years. So yeah, but it's fun, and it's great to see also for the young kids now that the national team can be an inspiration to them and something to look up for.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. I won't hold you too much longer. I know you have to get to a team meeting soon. But looking a bit ahead now, we're back to the present. And yesterday with the victory over Paraguay, also then there was the win for Spain over Montenegro, which I guess leaves a little bit mixed emotions looking back, but makes everything very even now going into the main round. It's only Germany on 4 points, and things are wide open. I mean, what is your thought now, or what's the team's thought heading into the group? Are you daring to dream bigger, or are you trying to keep yourselves on, let's focus on one game at a time?
We are definitely focusing on one game at a
Mm,
time. Now we start with Germany,
yeah,
and they have their home court, and I'm excited to see how we will present ourselves in like stage
yeah,
that is. Yeah, there's also a lot of nerves and stuff going on with us, but we'll try to keep developing in the way we play and try to seek a better result and like a good how do you say, yeah, a good game, a better game each time we play, with less mistakes, and trying to see that we do things better, and that's like the focus. And then we still dare to dream, like we don't settle. So I don't know if Germany is the game that we have the highest hopes for,
yeah,
but we played Iceland before, and they played a close game against Serbia. So yeah, we dare to dream, but we try to keep our focus on one game at a time, and to our focus is to do better every time
yeah.
we play.
Well, I think you'll have a lot of the neutral fans on your side, and all the pressures on Germany, I would say, with the big arena. And I'm sure there's a lot of the fans will be infiltrating. It won't be a fully German audience tomorrow night. And it's going to be super exciting to see you all in action there on that stage. But Pernille, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your experience so far. Best of luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.
And
Bye.
bye. Joining us in the podcast, we have Alexa Pavicevic, the founder and the only person, in fact, running the brilliant women's handball account on Instagram. Lovely resource all year round, but particularly during this World Championship. And lovely that you can take a few minutes to chat with us. Alexa, how you doing?
Hi, Chris. I'm so delighted to join you on this podcast that I've been following for many years now. I'm good, looking to handball every day, so
Yes.
it must be good.
Yeah, we can't complain exactly. All right. In the midst now of the championship, just 5 days have passed. Strangely enough, we've finished a couple of groups already. We're heading into the main round tomorrow. Some groups there's still some days to go, such as the format of this year's championship. But what have been the biggest storylines so far for you?
I think that Group D was amazing to follow, like so unexpected, with Faroe taking the win over Spain and then Montenegro falling into the trap of Spain and getting lost for me unexpectedly as well. So I think that Group D will make a big story in this championship, and I feel like that main round combined will be one to watch, because like all the teams are on 2 points and everything can happen there in Dortmund.
Yeah, exactly. So it's perfect timing to get you on because we just finished those groups yesterday. Looking forward to us heading over to Dortmund tomorrow. And you as a Montenegrin as well, a little bit of skin in the game. We said it in the pre-championship podcast. These two groups coming together, I think, were super interesting because it's a bunch of different national teams at kind of different stages of either the development or in some cases maybe a bit of a downward turn. And in particular, the trio of Faroe Islands, Spain and Montenegro, with each of them beating each other. I mean, from a neutral point of view, absolutely fantastic. But I guess also a little bit shocking. I mean, if we start maybe with Montenegro's side of things, seeing as you know them so well. What were your expectations coming in, and how has it changed now that we've played 3 games?
Yeah, for me, diving into the tournament, I was expecting, of course, 3 victories, and I think they were very well prepared for the Faroe Islands, especially coming from the qualifiers where they already played them. And I think it was a big plus for them because they already knew what they would expect, unlike Spain, who played them for the first time ever. Then I was like, even on my broadcast, I wrote that I'm surprised might drop in the game between Spain and Faroe. And it happened. It was like in the air. I felt like they could do it because they are really, really good team. No underestimating them at all. And I think they will make a few points in the main round, especially against Iceland and Serbia as well. And then we saw one Spain that were completely lost in the last 20 minutes with only Sodelgado, one amazing player. It was just her on the court. And then I felt like Montenegro were captivated by that performance last 20 minutes. I felt like they expected to play that Spain, where only Sodelgado played, and that's all. And it started like that. It was only Sodelgado, and they stopped her in first few minutes, but then whole team played and they just couldn't connect. They weren't playing their game at all. I felt like Montenegro didn't show anything yesterday in terms of their power. We didn't saw Georgina Jokovic, like the main player, shooting at all. We just saw like some good 7 against 6, but then playing 7 against 6 in team where, I have to be honest, a lot of turnovers are made. It's pretty risky. And then I think we conceded like 12 goals on the empty net in the whole group phase. So something is not working on with that 7 against 6. But like I knew, knowing them for so many years and knowing that generation, that I think it's in an amazing age right now. All of them are like 28, 29. I think they can do good in main round. Okay, of course they have now to surprise Germany, which I think is fabulous team, especially at the home court.
Yeah.
Will be tough, but I think it will be interesting. Like, from the point of view where handball is developing, as you guys talked last podcast, it's in a period of stagnation. I feel like that result yesterday is good in terms we will now have an amazing main round where until the end we will not know who advances. If Montenegro won yesterday, it will be 4 points for Germany and Montenegro with some easy matchups, I would say, and we will have no fun things to watch. So I think in terms of popularity of handball, I think yesterday result was good because we have now excitement coming on into main round.
It's always a little bit tricky to predict how the different styles will come together and the different levels when two groups come together. So, we're seeing seeing what happened over in Stuttgart with Germany, Serbia, Iceland in one context, and then a very different context in the groups in Trier. But overall, I guess the teams coming over from Group D will be feeling quite confident about coming up against Iceland and Serbia in particular, where, I mean, that performance yesterday from Serbia was quite shocking against Germany.
I think they gave no fight to Germany, honestly, which is surprisingly for me, knowing that I know the people from Balkan love to play in the front of full hall, it like drives them, but they gave literally no fight from the first minute. It was a big difference. But I think they are coming with full confidence because they had three games that were super tough.
Yeah.
Three completely different games for all the teams, so I think they are more prepared than what they are prepared from Group C. I have to point to Iceland. For me, the comeback from Serbia was amazing. I hope they develop as much as they can and they be like surprised from the Faroe Islands. So I think the Faroe Islands against Iceland will be an amazing game.
Yeah,
I was covering that when they were playing qualifiers. It was quite interesting game. So I hope that game can be fun, and as well, of course, Iceland versus Spain. Why not? For me, it would be good.
yeah. Well, you're basically hoping everyone takes points off each other, and Montenegro can progress. So, looking at the broader tournament, then, and maybe some of the other kind of non-European underdog performances so far, I want to get your take on how it's going. I mean, myself and Alex talked a lot before the tournament about maybe a little bit of a disparity as well when it comes to the top and lower levels in comparison to the men's game. I was personally quite nicely surprised in the first few games with some of the performances, but we're always going to see the 18 or 20 goal victories. But is there anyone in particular that is any teams that have stood out for you among the underdogs?
Yeah, but for me, I feel like the difference between pot 2, teams from pot 2 and teams from pot 3 really is lower now because all these teams gave a fight to each other in their matchups. So I think compared to that first championship in Spain, that was really horrible to watch in terms of differences. I feel like now it's closed. And of course, I have to point to very best teams, non-European, that's Brazil and Angola. For me, Angola destroying South Korea was surprise because I was expecting a tough match between like two different sides, but it was Angola that dominated from the get-go. So for me, that's like a big surprise. And I think under the Viver, they have a Spanish coach now, they could develop and they have some good young players. And Brazil, they were trailing against Czech Republic by 5 or 6, and they came back amazing with the good goalkeeping, with Bruno De Paulo, of course, as the main star. So I think these two teams stand out. Of course, Tunisia giving a fight against Poland. That was also pretty unexpected. So I think the difference between pot 2 and pot 3 closed, and that's good for handball. But I feel like still the difference between pot 2 teams and pot 1 is still a bit bigger than it should be.
That's it. Handball. Yeah, true. I mean, at the moment, there's not too much standing out in terms of teams from that second tier that might be able to break into the quarterfinals and really challenge for a medal. Maybe it's a little bit early to be talking about those big teams, but one aspect of it is that in the likes of France, Denmark, Norway, there's new generations of players coming in. Some a bit more naturally, like Norway always do, bringing in 1 or 2 players every time. For the Danes, maybe a bit more enforced because of the plethora of injuries they have. But is there any young players among those big teams that you're really excited about seeing them tested over the next week or two?
Of course, from Norway, Tale Rushfeldela. I think, she proved herself many times, but I think she's so young that she can prove herself even more. So I'm eager to see her in this championship, in the upcoming championship, as that generational things are happening in Norway now. Like, for example, like these players that from 90s that were born in 90s are stepping out. I mean, even now you have Nora Mørk, who is pretty much on the bench because she wants to get rest, etc., etc. And then these Henny's generation is now taking over. So I think that's really positive. And of course, Lena Granvaux from France. I think for the first time, she's going to take a role of center back. She was always somewhere else, like on the right back.
Wild card, yeah.
Yeah. So I think without Zadi, I don't know if she will come back. She is injured. I think she will get a great time playing for France. But for France, I don't know how far they can reach. For example, I predicted them to get out of the quarterfinal because like they missed whole back line from the last Euro. And these three players are so influential from them, from Nezaminko to Laura Flip. I think replacing Laura Flip is maybe the hardest thing because she's so important for them in defense. Like, and then she fits perfectly in their attack. So I don't know how France far can reach. I think that game against the Netherlands in the potential main round will be first one, so we can see how France good is really, because they have pretty much easy group. They had a pretty easy pre-tournament, pre-World Championship tournament. So I don't know how far they can go in that new squad. And they miss Chloe Valentini, amazing wing player. But okay, Suzanne Vajoka is doing good job. Like I saw she's like top scorer of the tournament, something like that. So I don't know how far can reach, but they will reach quarterfinals for sure. But like if they can, they will probably match up with Denmark or Hungary, depends on the ranking. So I think it will be an interesting potential quarterfinals, seeing the new generation of France against like Kluivert or like Denmark. I feel like Denmark, okay, they don't have like 7 or 8 players, but I feel still that quality is there. Helena Elberg is still amazing center backs. Christina Jorgensen, Annemette Hansen is like, for me, an MVP of the Danish team, because maybe she doesn't score 10 goals, but like she does everything else for that team. So I think like Denmark, we don't see anything dropping the quality because they miss 7 players. I think the quality is still there.
Yeah, I guess that's a positive thing for them, having such a strong domestic league as well. You know, they having 3 teams playing, and maybe even more than 3 teams playing at a Champions League level. And yeah, it's exciting talking about the French team, as it's very unknown, talking about the players they're missing, but you know, also you have to consider the defensive and goalkeeper strength. We could go maybe a little bit old school and winning a quarterfinal 1917 in order to get the job done. We'll see. I think it's too early to talk about the French without actually seeing them tested yet, but exciting prospects. Heading into the main round now, it feels like for a lot of teams, it's actually this competition is gonna really start. We've been focusing a lot on the interesting games, and thankfully we have had a lot of interesting games in the preliminary round so far, particularly with the pot 2 versus pot 3 teams. Is there anyone in particular that you want to look out for in this main round, or any contests? I mean, we're gonna be looking at Sweden versus Brazil tonight. I mean, this will be out to the public tomorrow morning, so we don't know which way this is going to go. But who else in the main round are you looking forward to see, and maybe we'll see a new side of them?
I think Romanian team is really one to watch because they are young, they have a lot of energy, and for the first time, I think, like after the Anguera, they really have a good team and like amazing players, and they have now a new coach that brought 100% new energy. So I think that matchup against Hungary and also against Switzerland will be a good one, because especially with their fans coming. So, and again, we have in 1 year we have a European Championship in Romania, so I think that it's a build up for what's coming. So I think they should be one to look out in the main round. Maybe they can drop a surprise against Hungary, which for me is expected to make it to the quarterfinals, but who knows, in front of their fans it's one game, like no one knows what can happen. And and since last Euro we saw that Romania can beat everyone. Okay, they can lose against everyone, but like it's 1 year of experience they got, so I think they are the one to look up. I think also this game against Sweden against Brazil, okay, the quality is on the side of the Sweden, but like I think Brazil can challenge them in one way.
I fully agree with you there. We mentioned your women's handball channel at the top of our chat. Just a little bit on a personal note for you. What was the inspiration to launch it in the first place, and how long has it been going now with the account?
It's been going like 5 years.
Yeah.
I started it in COVID. I was like super bored at home. I did nothing, and I was like, why don't I open, like, it was for the first fun page where I pretty much posted the pictures and wrote something. And then like it started on the Olympics in Tokyo that I started doing some graphics. And then I continued, and feel like my life is incomplete without it. Like I am doing, like, for example, I'm going to university in my personal life, but literally it's on now on pause until this championship is running. I'm completely focused to it, and I love it. I love to do that.
No, well, thank you for all the great work you're doing, and hopefully we can get a few more followers to that, and also to the broadcast channel as well, which you mentioned earlier. A really great resource and a great chance for people to keep up to date with the tournament. But Alexa, thank you so much for your time. Lovely to speak to you on the podcast for the first time, and hopefully we'll do it again soon.
Yeah, I hope as well. It was amazing.
Well, thank you to both Alexa Pavicevic and Pernille Brandenborg. Fascinating chats. And as I said earlier, if you want to catch both of those in full, and even more juicy stuff to talk about, then head over to patreon.com/handball hour. We'll also have a couple more bonus episodes only on there in the days to come as the main round progresses. We'll be back with the next full episode of the Handball Hour at the end of the main round as we look forward to the business end of the competition. So until then, everyone, take care and enjoy the games. Goodbye.